Hello, my name is Jeanne Searer, and I had the pleasure of being the other facilitator for the bridging communities since 2003 or 4, I'm not sure which, but my most fun of the whole thing was getting to be the Vanna White to both Tom Haley and Dave Harridan. They're characters, and it was easy to either tease them or, sort of get the ball rolling depending on what was going on. So I started in, I think about 2003 for real, but I had become the volunteer coordinator for La Comunidad Hispana in about March of 2002, so I was already the volunteer coordinator for that year's Cinco de Mayo. And it was fabulous because we got the word out. We had a really wonderful event that year. And then each year, there's been, the one thing about bridging that might not be caught by people is that we purposely have the meeting in a different location every other month. And different people would come. Sometimes the whole focus of the meeting would be housing. People needed houses, and then there'd be a man that had trailers that he was reconverting, and it was amazing the way little things like that, or gardens, and then the community gardens grew, and people were growing vegetables and having plots at Anson Nixon Park. It all starts with just a little message that somebody says at a bridging meeting, and then the parties that are most going to make it happen get together and things flourish. It's amazing. I always say it's a window to a bigger experience. My most recollection, like Tom, is when in 2003 there was a flood in town, and bridging got together all the key people. We got caravans of what do you call it, stuff for people surviving the floods, furniture, trucks moving everything. It was all done in like 3 weeks. It's amazing the things that can happen. People were out of their places because of the floods, but by 3 to 6 weeks they were already getting new places to live and furniture. So that was way back when. The most recent that I can think of now is groups like Mighty Riders and Young Moms and Wings for Success that come to a couple of bridging meetings, and all of a sudden they've got a place and they're servicing the people that they wanted to service to begin with, or they've already expanded to a bigger place. And that happened again because of a little window and somebody at that bridging meeting taking note and making a collaboration and making things work. So I always say you don't take it for granted. It's an amazing experience, and you never know who the person is that's going to help you. Since the pandemic, we've had Zoom meetings, and yet we still have this whole group now of ministers that are trying to help people deal with grief. It's so important right now, and it's growing. It's getting a following. They had a get-together at the Senior Center that was very well received. I missed it, but it was very well received. So those are the kinds of examples of the things that happen in the community because of bridging. We can't take direct credit for it, but sometimes it's just planting the seeds, and sometimes it's just connecting on a bridge one person to a key person that makes their whole situation come to fruition.